And we are live. So welcome everyone and thank you for listening. Today we are on our second episode of Blown Up Concept podcast and we have a special guest, Oren Shvartzman. Thank you for coming, Oren.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Thanks. So Oren is a security researcher, right?
Yeah.
And you work with reverse engineering?
So what I do is basically reverse engineering for embedded devices, mostly like software reverse engineering in general,
Okay, so Oren and I know for a few years and we actually work together. And so like I said, reverse engineering is today our blown up concept. And I want Oren to first of all tell us what exactly is RE, what is reverse engineering?
Well, RE is basically the concept that you take a product or anything in the world and just try to figure out how it works, how it's assembled, like really get in the mind of the person who made it, and then do with it what you want. Like I know some people try to copy some products, some people try find all kinds of vulnerabilities like in code or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are many things you can do with reverse engineering, but it's not like a high-tech subject. It's more of a general thing. You can you can do reverse engineering to basically anything.
Yeah, exactly. So reverse engineering can be in any type of field. Like it can be in design, it can be in physics, chemistry, high-tech like hardware, software.
Yeah, I mean, what I do in my work is, I get a piece of code and it's not really clear what it was meant to do, or like what its purpose. So I just look at the code and start reading and like, what does it do? What does this do? And just trying to figure out everything. But this is like the software side of reverse engineering. You can do reverse engineering to a PCB, like a board with electronics on it. That you see all the components and think to yourself like, why is this there? Why is that there? What does it try to do?
And how they are connected.
Yeah.
Like you follow the traces and you reproduce the circuit, the schematic.
Yeah.
Great. So tell me if I'm wrong, but let's give some examples for listeners.
Yeah, sure.
So for example, if we're talking about chemistry, let's say I have a mixture, an unknown mixture, and I don't know which materials are inside, but I want to identify them. So what I'll do is taking different indicators for different materials, and with them I could understand and identifying the different types of materials, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good example in chemistry. Let's say if we talk about design. So in my previous podcast I talked about CNC and CAD software.
Right.
So in CAD software, for those who didn't listen, and you should, CAD software is a software where you can design your products, your objects, and then you model them, and then you can produce them with different types of CNC machines, like 3D printer, milling machine, laser cutter, whatever.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them. Now, let's say I'm taking this. Oh
wow, what does it do right here, right on time?
I don't know. So let's say in this hard time where Gaza firing rockets on us, this all needs helmet.
Yeah.
All right? He has to stay alive, of course. So please agree with me that this all has a different shape than our human head, right?
Right, of course.
So in order to make a helmet for him, we need to first of all take a caliber or a 3D scanner, which I don't have, unfortunately, and maybe I should make one.
I should. Yeah.
But let's say I don't have, and I want to use a caliber and measure his head, all the sizes, measure everything, and reproduce him, remodel him inside the CAD software. And only then, after I have him inside my software, I can make around his head a helmet which will fit precisely to his head, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I won't have the sizes and everything, I won't be able to make a precise helmet for him.
Yeah.
So in the design field, I need to measure everything previously. Like, let's say it's off-the-shelf product, and I don't know the size of it, and there are no documents online, so I need to make everything from scratch, and only then, after redocumenting everything, make a helmet for him.
Yeah, yeah. So exactly. I mean, reverse engineering is like a general name of basically, you know, as it says, reverse engineering. Just take the product and, you know, think about in your head like the reversed, way that the people made it, so you can understand its components and how it works. It's a very interesting field. I mean, it's very.
I'm sure.
It's very popular. I mean, in my world, like in the software reverse engineering world, it's very popular, and I know I recommend everyone just study a lot more about it. I mean, it's really fun subject.
Yeah, and interesting.
Yeah,
we must say. So, can you tell us and the listeners why do we need reverse engineering? Like, why do you use it?
Yeah, so a lot of people use it for different purposes. Like some people wanna copy other people's products. So we know that it's a cliche that everything has a Chinese copy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the Chinese are really good at reverse engineering because they just take existing products and make their own in like half the price.
Yeah. And it's easy to them because they are the factory. They have all the factories that produce all the.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one thing. Another thing you can just as a hobbyist just to understand how the thing works. I mean, if you just wanna, open up your router in your home and just understand like what is this circuit that it has inside, what the software is it running. I mean, it's interesting for some people, for hobbyists that are interested in this kind of things.
Of course.
And of course, there's the cyber world, like the people that try to find vulnerabilities in code, try to just understand what the code does so they can attack or defend like whatever their job is from hackers. I mean, basically what hackers do, they exploit vulnerabilities in code that damage our computers.
Yeah.
So how did they find these vulnerabilities? They just reverse engineered some software, find out that if you type 1 2 3 4 6, then it crashes. So they sent it, and some people want to find this vulnerability before them, so they can tell the developers like, if you put 1 2 3 4 6, it's gonna crash, so fix it. So there are a lot of things you can do with reverse engineering.
So they are called hats, right? There are different hats.
Yeah, I mean, hackers tend to classify themselves like with hat colors.
Yeah.
Like I'm a white hat. I mean, I search for vulnerabilities in software in order to defend products. I find a vulnerability and then tell the company like, there's a vulnerability there, fix it. But black hat hackers are the attackers. They're like the criminals that try to find the vulnerability before white hat teams and just attack and steal money or just crash computers and cause chaos. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have their.
So they're like the good and bad guys, right?
Yeah.
Good guys are the white hat, bad guys are the black hat, and there are some other colors, right? Like gray, blue, red.
I mean, there are some niche colors, but mostly white and black. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you told me something. You gave me an example before we spoke about Windows or WinRAR. Like you had an old example.
Yeah. So another cool example that I don't know, maybe the older viewers will get it. I remember that I had I know Windows 95, I think, or 98. It's very old. I'm very old.
Don't
and,
look.
yeah, and we had Windows Media Player. We would play our songs in the computer, and it had like this software with pretty colors that were shown when you played the song. And in the software, instead of like a square window, you'd have like somebody's head who's on his forehead. There's like the pretty colors, or I don't know, like a cat with on its belly the pretty colors. There were like many different skins, if people know the term. So what I heard, like not a long time ago, that people just reverse engineered this software, this Windows Media Player, and just made their own skins. Like they did, one of Pokemon that Pikachu had his,
awesome.
yeah. So sometimes they just do, if you're playing, Pokemon or Little Fighter, like all these mini games that we used to play as kids, then all this, they usually had cheat codes or cracks or stuff like that. Basically, people reverse engineered the software of the game and found these vulnerabilities that actually made you, invincible in the game, or you could attack anything with one shot and kill everything. And so it was really cool. It made my childhood awesome. So
mine as well.
Yeah, reverse engineering is like it's life.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, like, is it okay? Is it legal to use reverse engineering? Because let's say you take an off-the-shelf product, and some company has a proprietary on this product. So is it okay to do reversing?
So this is like a tricky one. I mean, basically, when you buy a product, you must think to yourself, I bought the product, I paid for it money, I can do it whatever I want with it. But it's not entirely true. I'm not, do you know the user license agreement that everyone just checks out without reading?
Yeah. I'm not a robot?
Yeah, something like that. Sometimes there's like a clause that says you shouldn't mess with the product, you can't open it, you can't mess with its software. So you buy the product, but it's not entirely yours. Like you said, it's proprietary, so they don't want you to, get into all of its code and stuff. Yeah. And I have, like an example, I have an Oculus VR headset, like the one you
awesome.
put on your head and like play games like Beat Saber if someone really fun. So Oculus is owned by Facebook, and
really,
yeah, and you have to have a Facebook account to use Oculus. It's crazy, yeah. And there's like people who crack the Oculus headset. I mean, they just, they actually hack a game. Like they can hack my favorite game, Beat Saber, so I can put infinite songs and whatever songs I want. But Oculus upgraded its headset not a long time ago, and they can identify who hacked the game, and then they can brick your helmet. Make it useless. Yeah. Now they give you like a two-week notice or something like that, but I'm not sure. But I think it's a 2-week notice.
Okay.
But you basically bought a product for a lot of money, and you hack it on yourself. You don't really do it for anyone else. Mm-hmm. And Facebook can just, remotely just,
crash it.
Yeah, crash it, like make it useless, and you have nothing to do about it.
Wow.
And yeah, so because you you agreed on your user license agreement to not do this, not crack their headset, and if you just do whatever you want, then they can do whatever they want. Yeah.
So it depends on the type of system or product that you bought, right? Like if you are not signing any document online or something like that when you download it, like if you buy a plant
Yeah. I mean,
fake plant.
I can't really. I don't know if you can reverse engineer a plant. That's really.
I didn't have anything beside this owl.
Yeah. So actually, this owl is a great example. I mean, okay. If tomorrow you're gonna take this all and copy it completely, no one can know. I mean, it's not plugged online. If you won't show it to anyone, no one will ever know. Is it okay or not? I mean, it's a matter of if you're willing to copy another man's job and just do it without telling him. I mean, there's a moral question here, but besides that, no one can ever know. And maybe even if the creator will know about this, he'll probably get mad or something. But I don't know. I mean, it's not like the Oculus that can just make your helmet useless if you bought it for a lot of money. So
yeah, actually, it reminds me when I was young, I had a PlayStation 1, and I remember that it was pretty easy to crack it. But when you did, you wouldn't want it to, let's say when we cracked it, we had to use only cracked games. Like, we couldn't go to a shop and buy the official game and use it.
Yeah.
Because you cracked it. So you had to go to unofficial shops and buy or download cracked games. So it's also a limitation, like breaking the Oculus.
Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure that, maybe in the way you cracked your Sony PlayStation, you actually made, I don't know, original CDs invalid or something. It's not really, I mean, my example was a little bit better because the company that sold you the product really could tell that you hacked their product and make it useless. Mm-hmm. But Sony, I don't think in Sony PlayStation 1 it wasn't connected online.
No, it wasn't.
It's really old. I'm not entirely sure that Sony knew that you broke your product. You broke your product, so original CDs won't work anymore. It's something like that. It's not really.
So the blame goes on the cracker.
Yeah, and okay. not really the company.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So can we conclude what the reverse engineering is, like in a short sentence?
So reverse engineering is getting into the mind of the creator of the specific product you're researching, mm-hmm. right? Whether it's code or a chemical compound, you have to know what components there are in this product, how it works, why was it made, and that is reverse engineering in total.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but can we say reverse engineering is redocumenting, but a bit more than this, like understanding, like you said, the how it's made and how it works?
Yeah, I mean, it's understanding the logic behind it. It's understanding how it's assembled. You could say it's redocumenting if you're like in electronics, you mostly have like data sheets that just explain to you what this component does and how it works. So yeah, basically you try to figure out the data sheet. But like in code, you need to understand like the purpose of the code and why was it made. I mean, it's not always just redocumenting. It's really understanding. So this is more accurate description. Yeah.
So it seems to me like we now understand what exactly reverse engineering is, why should we use this method, and what is it used for. And I want to go a bit off topic, as long as you're here, and talk about you are now doing taking your master's, right, in cybersecurity.
Yeah, so I'm currently a student in Ben Gurion University in cybersecurity, and we study a lot of courses about cybersecurity, a bit of machine learning.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you told me you are also doing a thesis, right?
Yeah, so my thesis is around is a machine learning thesis, but machine learning that's supposed to detect side channel attacks. When side channel attacks is a really, really cool subject that is not entirely connected to reverse engineering. It's kind of different.
Okay.
It's like it's usually used to leak information from, I don't know, isolated systems in a unique way. Like it's a side channel. Like usually you have your primary channel of communication, and side channel attacks is you make a side channel that is hidden from like the usual channel.
Sounds cool.
Yeah,
Do
like
you have an example?
yeah, there's like a really cool professor in my university that does a lot of research about this subject, and I understood that he could transfer information between two computers by overheating the CPU of one computer like periodically,
Okay.
and the other computer which has a heat sensor like in all computers just accept this information and decodes it. Like if you want to pass like the string 101, like the bits 101,
Yeah.
so you heat up really hard the CPU of one computer, really heat it up for like 50 seconds, right? The other computer measures the heat for 50 seconds. It's like, I don't know, X degrees. And then to put a 0, you just cool down the CPU, just stop doing anything for 50 seconds. So, and then the heat sensor just notices the downfall of the temperature. So it can tell it's 0.
Wow.
And then again, 1, 0. And
Like you have a threshold, and as long as the temperature is above or under it, like
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
That's insane. That's insane.
Wow.
He does really insane stuff. I mean, other research he wrote to the RAM memory of the computer in a very timed fashion, in which he could. All right. So when anything that happens inside your computer, it happens using electrical currents, right? I mean, you have an electrical board and it works with electrical currents.
Yeah.
Electrical currents that flow make electrical field, okay? That's just physics, right? So he made a lot of operations in a computer in a very timed fashion that made the current just flow in a very unique way that made electrical field that resembled a Wi-Fi packet, and he could actually made his RAM memory a Wi-Fi generator. I don't know, it was completely insane. I think the research is called AirFi, if someone is interested in reading.
And if I use this computer while it's doing the hacking or whatever it is, transferring the data, I won't notice?
No, you won't notice. I mean, it's something on the background. You won't really. I mean, if it's really resource extensive, like it uses a lot of resource to do this, then maybe your computer will become slower. But you won't really know it's because of this, because mostly, this is a malware, right? This is a virus that actually leaks information without your consent, right? So. Most of the times, malware act like in the background without you noticing. So, you probably won't notice. If you, I don't know, if you have understanding in this field and have a spectrum right next to you, so you can catch the electrical field signals in the air. But for the usual user, no, you won't notice.
Wow, it sounds mind-blowing, and I have to read an article about this thesis.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
While we spoke about it, I don't know, but why, but I got remembered of a fun fact about reverse engineering. If you go back, did you know that during the Cold War and the Second World War, the British and American forces, they went to the field and they found oil cans.
Right.
Now they knew they belonged to the Germans, and they loved the how it's designed, and they thought themselves, why not taking it back to their bases and redesign it, remodel it, and use it for their own purposes. And they decided to call it what we today know as jerry can. And the name jerry can comes from German can oils, like German cans, jerry cans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's a fun fact.
Yeah, I love history fun facts, yeah.
So anyway, I think we now know a bit about reverse engineering, and we also know what we want to talk about next time, about malwares and stuff, like what we talked about the thesis.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming.
Glad to be here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for listening, guys.
Thanks.
And I'll see you next time on the third episode. Bye for now.
Bye.